Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Not just me, my dog is here as well. Probably, you probably can hear him snore. So I think you gotta get used to this. But yeah, so I wanted to, record this video on what's happening in deliverability specifically at this point of time. I think today is like what, 22nd, 23rd October 2024. And things are changing really, really fast. Last week I basically wrote this document, prepared this document on whatever I've learned from, a couple of weeks of testing and also from, others who I speak to who have also been testing a lot, right? So part of a lot of groups. So especially, we have a certain group where we're just testing, and sending over 5 to 6 million emails per month totally, right? So everyone's testing different things, and I'm just wanted to prepare the document and share some insights on what I've learned, right? So I posted this on LinkedIn as well. So if you're interested in it, you can go check it out. I'll link my LinkedIn profile basically in the description, so you can go check it out. My latest post or two posts before, so you can go check that out and get the document for yourself. But I'm just going to quickly go over what's happening, and yeah, we can take it from there, right? So now, currently, landing in Outlook inboxes is impossible. Um, at least with most inboxes, right? With most Google inboxes, with SMTPs, it's very hard to land in Outlook, even normal Outlook. But we do have a couple of other options that's working well right now, right? And yeah, so one more thing, just caution is, don't take this information and copy it blindly. You should do your own tests and build your infrastructure based on your target ICP, right? What inboxes they're using, and you build the your inboxes, diversify and you know build it basically based on who you target. Right? It might work. What I'm sharing, something that's working for me might not work for you, right? So I reach out to a lot of enterprise companies as well for some of my clients. So just using an infrastructure that's working for a mid market or startups might not work for enterprise, right? Yeah, you have to figure that out. But this is just to give you the insights, to actually give you an overview of what's going on so you can build an infrastructure. Or, if it's easier, just hire us, right? Because we do this full time. And we've invested a lot of money into this as well. Trying out different softwares, trying out different sequences, different, it's different everything, right? So yeah, so let me give you some context on our results, right? So this was, I think, during the month of September, right? From the second week of September, or the first week actually, the results were like this. We sent, a lot of emails, but we never even got the replies, right? Our reply rate was less than 1%, which is very, very odd, which was very odd, right? And we didn't actually know what to do. Because this happened all of a sudden, right? And yeah, so once we figure out what works, what didn't work, what doesn't work, and what works, we quickly turned that into results. Basically, we started getting results, and this was a pretty hard time for us because we had to deliver results for our clients, obviously, you know, um, and I mean that was actually pretty hard, but once we figure it out, we're still booking a lot of meetings and it's working out really well right now, right? So quickly gonna go over what's happening, right? So email providers are getting stricter. So Google just released I think an AI update or something like that. And there's Forbes article as well, so you can check it out here. And basically they are tightening guidelines, and they're using AI to basically check the copy, see what's spam, what's not. The AI filters are, getting the spam filters will be getting better as well. So I think this released on October 14th. I think that they rolled out the update. I'm not sure, I don't remember, but something like that. October 1st or second week, right? Um, and yeah, so ESP matching is is working now, right? So I think 2, 3 weeks ago, ESP matching was a bad idea, but it's starting to work right now. Google to Google is working. Um, Outlook to nothing to Outlook is working, so you can regard that, disregard that. But Google to custom ESPs is working as well. But 2, 3 weeks back, Google to Google wasn't working. You had to use Outlook to send to Google and Google to send to Outlook, and right. But yeah, now it's starting to work again. Enterprise level security is tough, but if you're using Google or some enterprise boxes, you can um, get through these filters as well, right? The basic idea is, it's the landscape is shifting very, very constantly. 2 to 3 weeks ago, Gmail inboxes were nearly impossible to reach. Now Outlook is acting up. You can't really reach Outlook. But one more thing is, someone just hit me up today saying Google to Outlook starting to work again. So we don't really know what's going on. It's changing very, very fast. But yeah, if you don't adapt, yeah, code email isn't going to work for you right now. Deliverability has become the most important thing. It's not just the copy, it's not the list, the messaging, the target audience, whatever it is, that all comes next. Because if we don't land in the inbox, then what's the use of writing good copy and building super targeted lists and all that, right? So yeah, next is, a lot of cold emails are just going to spam, right? They're not even landing in the inbox. And if anyone tells you, you know, they land 100% in the inbox, that's false. You know, not all the emails that you send won't land in the inbox, right? That's whatever you do, it's not gonna happen, right? 100%, unless you send like 10 emails manually, then it's fine. It'll probably land in the inbox, or maybe not, right? But yeah, and yeah, constant adaptation is necessary. What worked last week won't work this trip. It just change, right? Um, and I'll quickly go over our deliverability stack. So inboxes. So we're using Google. We're trying different providers for Google as well, not just one provider. We're using multiple providers. We're using Outlook. So for Outlook, we're using a special type of enterprise Azure inboxes. We don't use normal Outlook. So these are helping us land in Outlook and also in enterprise CSPs, right? So we're getting very, very good results with these inboxes. Not sure for how long again. Because but it's working right now, right? And SMTP we're testing Mailif and Mailoso, um, but yeah, in sequencer we're using Smartly, we're using Instantly, and we're also using a private sequencer, with private sending IPs and all that for better deliverability, right? That's pretty This is working really well as well. But yeah, and deliverability tools, we are using email guard, we're using smart delivery, but mostly email guard to test, for inbox placement tests and all that. And we conduct this every week to make sure we are landing and we're inboxing. But yeah, and that's a quick overview what we're testing right now, and of our stack right now. Yeah. So next is warm up versus no warm up, what we are seeing right now. All right. Now, wait, I have to see Okay. So, all of these are without warm up, right? The first three are Google inboxes. The last three are Outlook inboxes, the enterprise inbox that we're using. And we are not warming them up, right? We're sending it from day one. So, first three, look at the replies. The opportunity doesn't matter, but we're getting a decent reply rate because before it was like less than. 1%, 0%, and all that, right? But now without warm up, it's working well. The one issue, or I'm not sure if it's an issue, but the one thing that is concerning about not warming up is the life of the domain, right? So if it would, actually with warm up, if it would um, work for 6 months or a year. Now it might come down a little bit, but anyways, you have to change your infrastructure every 3 months or so, right? Especially with what's going on, you really have to do that. So it doesn't really matter. So you can start sending from day one as well. But main goal is to the main idea behind this is not to send 25 to 30 emails per day, like even 20 per day. Maybe you can, but per inbox, right? So send low volume per inbox per day and with more inboxes and domains. Like um, that's how the game is changing right now. Before, and until last year, we were sending 40, 50 emails per day per inbox. After that, a few months back, it came down to 25 to 30, and now it's like between 2 to 10, right? So, and just, ramp up the number of inboxes you have, so you can send more volume if you're looking for that, right? And for the Outlook inboxes, we aren't ramping up. So for the Google, so we're starting at 5 and then working our way towards 15, 20 max, right? Every week we just increase by 5 or so. But for Outlook, we aren't ramping it up. We are sending it per inbox per day, right? I think we did. So I think today we did switch it up to 3. Um, but yeah, but we're being very, very careful with this. We don't want to risk anything. We're getting results with this with the amount we're sending. So it just doesn't make sense to you know push the limits at this point of time because we don't know what's going to work, what's not going to work, and all that. We're still testing, right? But seems to be working right now. And yeah, so that's pretty much, the case with warm up versus no warm up. You can go ahead and conduct your own tests, see what's working, which is better, which is not working, which is not performing as well as the other. And then, take a call based on that. And so these are just my insights again, and what we're saying. But yeah, so next is domain masking versus no masking. So basically, domain masking is, the idea behind this is Google um, able to is able to find out the domains that are being forwarded to the main domain and block them based on that or something like that. We're not sure how far this is true, but that's why someone came up with email guard, came up with domain masking, or maybe someone else, I don't know, but we use email guard for domain masking. And it's what so after conducting a bunch of tests, not just me. So I haven't personally done too many tests with masking, right? Just a few tests here and there, but I've also I have a couple of other agency owners who have done extensive tests on this. Right? Main thing that we're seeing is it works well for enterprise CSPs. So you use masking versus no masking, the reply rates literally double, right? In our case, like 2.5 times. So yeah, so as you can see, two campaigns with the same offer, list guns of prospect, yeah, proof point. So enterprise ESPs are basically proof point, Mimecast, Barracuda, Cisco, and all that. Right. So the reply rates are have increased for sure, but there's not much difference when you're sending to Google or Outlook. But yeah, so that's still a lot of testing to do. But these are some early insights that we gained, and yeah, so you can take it and do whatever you want with this data. Next is using private sequencers. So yeah, we're currently using a private sequencer, and the results have been very interesting. Some of them are were actually pretty. I don't know what to say. We didn't expect it, the results, but and we didn't have an explanation as to why the private sequencer performed better than the others. But yeah, one thing is, yeah, I can't reveal much about this yet because we're still at the inception, we're still testing, but the reply rates and PRs among the sequencers and private sequencers varied a lot in the sense, actually, the reply rates were pretty similar, but the positive reply rates varied a lot. Right? That's what I can tell you, right? The reply rates were almost the same. I think the mainstream sequencers like Smartlead and Instantly had little higher reply rate, but the PRs were very, very different, right? There's a drastic difference between both. But yeah, we're still seeing why that happened, and we're conducting more tests and seeing, what's really happening, right? Because we still don't have an explanation for that. But yeah, so for each of our clients right now, we're using private IPs and servers for sending, that comes with the private infrastructure, private sequencer, sorry. And this is probably because the public warm pools, like what Smartlead uses, what Instantly uses. Maybe Google and Outlook are catching up with those type of emails, and it's not even completely dependent on you, right? So if you have, so let's say if 10 people are in that uh, warm-up pool, right? And if one or two people just send spam emails and, really salesy emails and just get banned and blocked, that's still going to affect the whole warm-up pool, right? It's not even dependent on you. So that's also a problem right now. And that's probably why using public warm-up pools might not be the best way forward, especially moving into 2025, right? And yeah, so it's a good thing, you start diversifying here as well. Um, Not saying, completely did smart leader instantly, but, just test, right? See what's working for you. And yeah, so if you're looking for a more extensive test on this, go check out, Taylor Harron's post on LinkedIn. Okay, so he conducted a huge test for this. Um, but yeah, all right, so what to do to make sure you land in the inbox, right? All right, so I'm gonna quickly go over that. So match your email provider to what's working. So you have to be dynamic, right? So see what's working right now, and switch up based on that, right? Um, if Google to Outlook is not working, then start sending from Outlook to Google or SMTP to Outlook or whatever, right? You get that point. You get my point, right? So adapt to what's working. So keep getting those results. So you can land in inbox as much as possible. I'm not saying 100% because that's not possible, but increase your chances of landing in the inbox, right? Um, yeah. So analyze your ICP based on what inboxes they use. You build your own infrastructure. Um, yeah. Segment your lead email list. So use tools like Email Guard or Lead Magic to group contacts by their email provider. So these tools can get the MX records of your prospects. So you can determine whether they're using Google, Microsoft, or any other ESP, right? So run different campaigns, segment the campaigns based on different ESPs as well. So you know what's going on. If so let's say maybe the Outlook campaign is not working, then uh, just dial into the Google campaign or the custom ESP campaign and focus on that, right? So maybe Outlook isn't just working right now, or also try to fix that. But yeah, so doing this actually, uh, 2, 3, 4x our reply rates. Outlook didn't yield any results, but Google, we're getting really, really good results with Google, right? But yeah, you should do this as well for sure. And for the email copy part, you just stop using random templates. Syntax is also becoming less effective. You use Clay, generate a lot of AI phrases, sentences. So this basically, you don't need to use syntax when you're doing this, right? ESPs are figuring out syntax as well. But since the AI stuff generated by Clay is actually that's pretty good. If you know how to prompt, it's pretty good. I mean, you can't write the whole copy with AI. I'm not sure steady yet. I mean, at least we don't do it. So you can what we do is generate specific variables or phrases, you know, using AI. And if you send a lot of volume, keep changing copy every 2, 3 weeks, so they don't get fingerprinted. Yeah, diversify ESPs. Your inbox is basically, so we are using Google, Enterprise Outlook, and we're also testing 2 SMTP providers. Keep volume low per inbox, so sending just 2 to 10 emails per inbox without warm up is working good for us, right? Slowly ramp it up, um, but start slow, start small, right? And if you're learning the inbox consistently, you can slowly ramp it up. Conduct these tests as well to see if you're still if you're still learning the inbox, and then you can just ramp it up. And then try using a domain masking, especially when setting to custom or enterprise ESPs. So because it can increase reply rates in most cases, but worth testing at least. So you can use a tool like Email Guard. They provide you with domain masking. And deliverability, yeah, just conduct these tests on Smart Lead or Email Guard. So these tests will give you an overall idea. But the best test would be running campaigns, right? So, yeah. Finally, how to land in enterprise ESPs and Outlook. Right now is Scale Mail and Mail.do are landing in Outlook inboxes from day one, even without warm up. So as you can see, this test was conducted like 2 days back. We're landing and everything. This test was conducted a week back. This was with Scale Mail, so yeah, it's working well. So we currently use Scale Mail. We haven't tested with, even though we have Mail.do inboxes, not a lot, but a couple of them. We didn't really run any campaigns to Outlook inboxes, but some of the sources have told us Mail also is landing in the inbox, in the Outlook inbox really well, right? So you can do what you want with that. If you have Mail also, then you'll probably land in the inbox. But yeah, so make sure you conduct these tests to see if you're landing or not. But Mail also would be the best if you're reaching out to mid-market and startups, not enterprise, right? Because they'll get burnt quickly. And Outlook, yeah. So Outlook is still challenging. We don't know what to change, but I just heard recently and actually today that Google is starting to land in Outlook again. So I have to do the test as well and see if it's actually landing in Outlook or not. Right? Finally, yeah. So interestingly, we have one client. They're using 2 to 3 years old Google inboxes, and they're still running Outlook, Outlook right now, right? The offer is like really good. It's top notch, right? So that's still working, but I mean, at least from what I've heard, it's not always true. Even if your offer is like super cool, super good, you probably won't land in Outlook. But this is a anomaly that we've found, right? But yeah, so that's pretty much what this document covers. And yeah, so if you have any questions or anything, let me know. You can hit me up on LinkedIn. If you do want something like this set up, if you don't want, you don't want the hassle to manage the problems, the issues, and of email deliverability, also outbound in general, we take care of all this. So if you have anything, let me know. You can book a call with me or hit me up on LinkedIn and we can take it from there. Right? But yeah, so have a good one. Bye bye.